Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and today we're going to be taking a look at Lime's RC5. Now, this is a very interesting and slightly odd truck, but I feel like once we drive it, y'all will really understand where Lime's is coming from, essentially, with his approach to this truck. Now, it is a 1/5 scale, so it's a little bit of an odd size. It's definitely large in terms of what would be I guess considered like large in terms of what would be considered a normal size for most RCs. But if you notice, this thing has insanely long control arms. It's got insanely long coilovers. It's got a Chevy body, and it has a gigantic wing on the back. Now, we're out here on the stadium map right now because the stadium map allows us to test this thing in all sorts of different scenarios. And one of the interesting things about this particular truck is that the ability for it to go through mud has been really turned up. But before we do any kind of drive testing, we need to take it into the garage and see what all we can do to it in terms of customization, because I've never driven this thing before. So you guys are getting my absolute very first impressions. Now, let's see. We have a brushed and brushless motor option. Let's go for the brushless and just see what happens. I'm assuming it's going to be crazy. We have the stock 5-speed, and we also have an 8-speed fast transmission. That's going to be the absolute send it to the moon option. Then we have, let's see, suspension-wise, we've got stock and stock no damage, so you can actually pick whether or not you want the suspension to be damageable, which is actually really cool. And you start out with a 16-inch bogger, but you can go all the way up to a 27-inch bogger. Holy crap. I think I'm going to do somewhere in the middle with the 19-inch boggers, and then we'll go up from there. Long tow strap, offline winch. And let's see, we've got red lock forces and the black locked forces. I'm going to do, well, I'm back and forth. Let's do these because I feel like they would fit a little bit better with a bigger variety of color options. And of course, you have a full range of colors, which I love the fact. Oh, dude, I love the fact that he even included his like special edition colors on this little RC truck. That's so freaking cool. That like the red is like extra bright red. He's got both of the lime greens. He's got just about whatever color you would want to throw on this thing. That's so cool. Because normally, depending on what RC it is, and this is not like, you know, to like get after any of the other RCs, but like sometimes they don't even let you customize the color, but it's leaning a little bit to one side. But I feel like in something like this, that doesn't really matter. Now, obviously there's no sound because it is electric, but let's see what happens when we just point it straight at the nearest mud pit and go full send in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Oh my God, it does wheelies. With the brushless motor and the fast transmission, it does like actual legit wheelies. We almost crashed the game right there. How high does it go up with the... Okay, it doesn't actually raise up that much at all, but just a little bit is fine. All right, let's try that one more time, because I feel like if we want it to skim over the mud, it'll be probably best to do it in automatic mode. There we go. Oh, it skims over it for a minute, and then it's like, nope. So you probably have to get it, like, just right before you really point it at the mud and go. I wonder if maybe it's better on the large tires. Let me try this again, but on the large tires. Bro, it's digging. Okay, so essentially, what I'm gathering from this is that you're going to need a lot of speed and a lot of tire to make your way through the mud. So let me try this one more time. Suspension mode up. And now that we have the absolutely enormous tires on it, let's see if it'll go through this mud. Oh yeah, okay. So what you have to do is you have to plan out your route through the mud, and then you have to throw it in high right before you get there and like roll into it. Oh yeah. Dude, it does wheelies. It actually does really good wheelies too. That's amazing. All right, ease it. Oh. See, I got on the throttle too heavy that time, and essentially what happens when you get onto the throttle too heavy is that it basically snaps. It snaps up into the wheelie, but, like, it's kind of cool if you can make it do it like that right there. But the problem with doing it that way is the fact that if you do it on your way toward the mud, you won't actually get a smooth transition from the hard surface into the muddy surface, and then, you know, all sorts of wacky things will happen. So let's see if I can do it long ways. Oh. Oh, almost. I almost got it to do it. I mean, it was better. I almost got it to do it. I'm going to try to... Oh, my God. Okay, well, if the power comes in like that, just know that you're going to have to hang on because you are going for it. Whoa, that is wild. All right, let's see if I can cross this one by getting up through a few of the gears in automatic mode and then putting it in high. So let's see. Automatic, hit high. What the heck? I was in 7th gear in automatic mode. I put it in high and it exploded. It did not do that before. Like, it legitimately did not do that before. I wonder if that's because I'm on, like, tires that are so tremendously huge. Let's take it over to the racetrack now and see how it does when you put it in an environment like that. Because this racetrack involves both paved surfaces and, of course, like, it's got the paved surfaces and it's got the dirt surfaces. So this thing actually, I mean, especially with the fast, like, you know, transmission and engine options, you're in for probably a pretty good, like, RC racing experience. So let's try to keep it in a straight line. There's 7th gear, giving it some power. Oh, it almost made it. It almost made it, dude. I think we might be able to do that if we give it a little bit more rolling speed with slightly larger tires. Let's try that one more time with slightly larger tires. I'm afraid to put it in high because I feel like if I put it into high, then I'm not gonna... Oh, what the heck? Okay, well, that tire size causes wheelies. Causes massive wheelies, actually. Yo, that's amazing! It legit, like, does wheelies on command. With that tire size, oh, that's so sick. Come on. Come on. Oh, yep, there it is. Oh, wow, that landing, too, the suspension tuning is top-notch. I mean, it actually legit drives a lot like an RC of this type would. I mean, now granted, is it a little bit of an over-the-top RC? Sure, but like, isn't that the whole point of like modifying an RC to be crazy? I mean, unless you're trying to build a really realistic like scale RC, which I get, but this is not that. This is a go all out and really have like everything at max 100% of the time. Come on, keep the speed up. There it is. Yo, this thing is perfect for this track. I don't know how it was, like, tuned this perfectly for this place, but it really... Oh, my God. Go forward, please, and thank you. There you go. Make it. And look at that landing. The landings are really what impress me more than anything else. I mean, the whole thing is very impressive, but the landings are just... like, absolutely next level in a way that I have never seen before. And it's so much fun to drive. This is potentially one of the first, if not the first, like, purpose-built racing RCs. And can you imagine, like, getting this into multiplayer with your friends and just having RC races? That would literally be the most hilarious and most fun thing. Well, one of the most fun things you could do in the game anyway. Ooh, okay. Yeah, don't brake when you're sideways like that. It will result in, flops. But, and keep this in mind, this is also, there's no way that it could be all that high, like, RAM usage or space usage. So, I have a feeling that, you know, if you're worried about, like, RAM limits with this thing, oh, ow. Apparently, I need to worry about, you know, rollovers. But if you're worried about RAM limits with this thing, I don't really think it's going to be all that much of a concern because of how small it is. And not only how small it is physically, but, like, how small it is in terms of, like, file size. I would totally anticipate that you'd be able to get a group of these into multiplayer, even on an older console, most likely, no problem at all. So let's see if we can finish this lap out and see how it... Oh, God. You can really put that suspension to work in the turns, though. It's super fun. I mean, as long as you're not, like, too heavy on the throttle all the time, you can have the top engine and the fast transmission in it, and it will do really, really well. I want to send it off the big jump. I know that the setup is probably a little bit better suited to, like, the dirt, but I gotta say, it's got good grip even on the pavement. I mean, if it's got enough grip on pavement to do, like, power wheelies, I mean, it essentially... He's got the like, the concrete / pavement grip and the dirt grip very well sorted. Let's make it. Oh, dude. Oh, no! Oh, that bounce was not what I wanted. It's gonna end on, like, a good note with it, you know, landing upright, but really, still at the end of the day, I mean, you kind of want to make sure that you're in a rhythm with this thing. Whoa! Yep. Yeah, there's definitely a certain degree of skill and practice required for getting, like, a good lap in with this thing. but I gotta tell you, ooh, that was a little bit of a bicycle moment, but I gotta tell you, like, it's super rewarding to drive. I mean, there's definitely something to be said for, you know, really being dialed in with the way this thing drives and being able to do full laps of a track without rolling it over at all. I mean, that right there, it really does involve legitimate, like, practice and skill. And obviously, I'm not at that point yet, but I certainly strive to be. Oh my god, are you gonna let me pull you back over, please? And thank you. I love how he's actually put the winch points a little bit further out than the body to make it easier to flip over, because or flip it back over if you do flip it onto its lid, because, you know, if the winch points were directly on the contact points of the body, it would be a whole heck of a lot harder to flip it back onto its wheels again. And really, this thing is here for the purpose of fun, not necessarily for the purpose of, like, you know, being ultra realistic, but I think in a way it ends up having, like, semi-realistic RC performance. So, I feel like that's kind of a win-win with this thing. Ooh, yep, there it is. Oh my god, I love driving this thing. I absolutely love driving it around, and I gotta tell you, it is 110% an absolute blast, and y'all have got to get your hands on this thing at your absolute earliest convenience, because holy smokes, is it an absolute joy to drive. It really does take the RC game to the next level. But if y'all enjoyed this video, make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see y'all next time. Talk to y'all later.